making changes with your health sometimes sucks, let's be honest. And so we know as humans that we love to stay in our lane and be comfortable. But if this is you, you may have had points in your life where you knew that you should do something to improve your life, to improve your health, but actually taking that step was more difficult than just having the thought. And so why is that? What is it about people who do end up making that change? What's the difference between that person and the person who doesn't? Well, I'll tell you that it boils down to this one thing. After working with hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people, talking to them about their health day in and day out, we see that the number one factor is when the pain of staying the same exceeds the pain of making the change. That is when people move to act. They commit to a better way. They level up and do things that involve a little bit of sacrifice because they know it will be worth the long-term payoff. And so for me, I actually, back when I was a teenager, I actually developed really severe social anxiety. And I remember consume my whole life. I mean, it was invisible to everybody else, but inside I just had these kind of alarm bells going off all the time when I was around other people that I didn't know or trust. And even around my family, I was still really clammed up and just stone-faced. I can see on my home videos at home when my parents will put them on, will see me, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm just standing there with a sweatshirt hood over my face, and the drawstrings pulled all the way tight so you couldn't see my face. And my dad would say, "Hey Adam, what do you want to say to the camera?" And I would just grunt. Okay, so that was me. That was my life. It held me back in every way. And so for probably 5-10 years until I was in college, I'd say. And college was really where I decided enough was enough. I was in a brand new place. I was ready to kind of come out of my shell, invent a new identity, and I just knew I couldn't live that way anymore. And so I decided in school, I went out and tried new things. I joined the crew team, the rowing team. I eventually joined a South Asian Indian hip hop fusion dance team, which talking in front of crowds, let alone dancing in front of crowds, was way outside my comfort zone. But I just threw myself into these things, knowing this is what it will take. And if I come out in this, on the other side of this thing, I'll be stronger for it. And I did. It didn't kill me. But the only reason I moved was because I had so many years, so many days, so many months in a row of unrelenting stress about this, just internal conflict of knowing that I should be able to get over this and that life could be better, but I just didn't know how to get there. And I learned from some mentors. I had mentors in the process. Highly recommend that for you too with anything that you're trying to learn, any problem that you're trying to overcome. And that's how I learned what to do. At that point, it was just a matter of deciding to do it. So that applies to, I've seen that so many times and heard variations, different flavors of that same story arc. I know some people say, don't focus on the negative, but I believe that there's actually, while that's true, there's actually a strong purpose to that. Focusing on the pain is what drives a lot of people to move, okay? Because change is driven not just by running towards something that you want, right? Having a goal and running toward that thing because it's attractive to you, because it's very appealing. It's also equally as much having something fearful that you're running away from. Okay, running away from this current state that you're unhappy with. You've come to this point that you've decided that it's unacceptable. Okay, and sure, if we can add in a goal there, something, a carrot at the end of the stick to run after. That's what's going to give you the most momentum. Okay, a repelling force this way and attractive force pulling you toward that goal. Okay, how can you lose doing that? So stewing that, think about what that thing is in your life that's holding you back. Maybe it's with your health, maybe it's life in general, and what it feels like. What is this costing you? Not just money, but time-wise and relationship-wise, career-wise, hobby-wise, doing the things that you love, and make a decision for yourself. Are you okay with that? If you are, fine, no problem. Just don't waffle. Decide. I'm okay with this, or I'm not okay. Take action. There is no substitute for taking action.